Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Unfortunately, we have more update on the tragedy of the Viking river cruise ship that struck a tourist boat in Budapest. Quickly before we show you the caption of the video, I just want to warn you some of it could be disturbing, as you can clearly see passengers on board being hit when the cruise ship strikes the smaller tourist boat. So I just want to give you the fair warning ahead in case there's any kids watching and you don't want to watch it. So be prepared for the video ahead. So as it comes to fact, a Viking river cruise ship hit a tourist boat called the Mermaid in Budapest on the Danube River. The 64-year-old captain, only known as Yuri C. They only released the first initial of the last name right now. It looks like he will be being charged as he's still being detained by police. And after you see this footage, you can kind of see why. He's being charged with recklessly operating a cruise ship in congested waters, causing casualties. And it's kind of shocking at how fast this happens when you take a look at it. You can clearly see the smaller tourist boat is just beginning to head under a bridge when the larger Viking river cruise ship comes up from behind and basically just steamrolls right over the cruise ship. And a lot of people were saying when this first news came out, well, why didn't they just jump overboard? And you can clearly see in this one just how fast that happens. And not only does it happen, but you have the hull of the Viking ship is on top of you. And there's also a slight roof on the smaller tourist boat, the Mermaid. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to react. In fact, the ship went down in 7 seconds. So just picture that. You're looking out the video. You hear this loud noise behind you. You turn around. You see a hull of a ship coming right on top of you. And already 4 seconds, 5 seconds have gone by, and the ship is halfway down into the water already. And then it continues to roll over you. Not only that, this time of year the Danube is still quite cold and frigid waters, as well as the current. The current on the Danube is extremely strong. If you're not careful in the boats will be just swept down stream. So it's not like just a nice lake or anything like that. It's a treacherous river. And so unfortunately it looks like there are going to be only 7 survivors of the 35 people, passengers. All of them were from a tour company in South Korea. The South Korean tour company that organized everything has come on and stated, obviously, their condolences and that they take all responsibility in helping the families and things like that. The real quiet one right now is Viking River Cruises. Viking hasn't said anything, and when you see that footage, there's not a whole lot you can really say about it, as it's just like, somebody's driving down the road at 40 miles an hour and a guy hits you at 100 miles an hour from behind. It's there's not a lot of things you can say. They just did not heed the roadways of the water, if you will. And so he is going to be detained, and I imagine there will be some severe charges going forward. I can't really see a defense. It's not like a small boat can slam on the brakes. You can see it's heading at a normal speed, and it's the river cruise that clearly catches up to it and runs directly over it from behind. So there's not a whole lot that they can say in defense about this, and it calls into question right now Viking Cruise Line, which is a premier cruise line, both in the river cruising and the ocean cruising. But just a few months ago now, the Viking Sky, the captain's being questioned why it set sail to begin with during stormy seas. And now this river cruise is the captain's being operating it unsafely. It kind of calls into the questions who's running that ship and who's checking the captaincies on board. Is it seniority, or are they really qualified? It's just It's hard to imagine something, you're uh, just out enjoying the day. You're on a leisurely tour boat guide, something that should be extremely safe. You're in the harbor. You're in the main area looking at the temples and looking at the towns and the scenery, and suddenly you're run over by a large ship recklessly driving. It's completely senseless and it's completely avoidable. And I hope this captain gets everything coming to them. And I hope Viking starts a little more stringent looking at their captaincy right now, because it's not looking too good on them at the moment. I'll keep you more updated as we hear further updates, but as it appears right now, out of 35 people, it only seems like right now we have 7 who were pulled from the water. But there is still hope, and they still are hoping that some people were brought up and just hasn't been recognized from on shore. The real tragedy is, if you know this is a tour all from one area, it's from South Korea, you know a lot of people travel in huge groups and huge families together. So there's a very good chance that a lot of these people were family, and it just ups the tragedy level even worse. So I'll keep you informed as much as I can as this comes out. I just wanted to show you that video so you can clearly see what happened, because a lot of people were messaging me saying, well, I would just jump in the river. Well, take a look at how fast this happens, and you may not have had time to jump in the water. You may have been pushed down between a hull, the bottom of a cruise ship, the ship you're on, and that's the way it works. So I hope you appreciate this news update. If you did, please give it a click on the button. And if you want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world, and hopefully much better stories to come, please hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.